The food pyramid scam. I saw this video and I brought it up to Dr. Whiting, and he said we should definitely do a video about this. Is there a worse crime in history than the food pyramid? The marketing ploy developed by the Department of Agriculture even went against their own consultants and warned them that it would make people obese and depressed. And lo and behold, we have what we have. How did the food pyramid happen, and what do you think its effects are still today? Well, they're here today.
Yeah. Well, the food pyramid replaced the 4 basic food groups as far as education goes. And the food pyramid turned out to be far worse for human health and well-being than the previous
4 food groups.
Yeah. The reason for that is if you look at a pyramid, obviously the base of the pyramid is the widest, and the top is pointy. So it goes upwards and gets more narrow.
Okay.
Well, the idea behind that is that foods that you should eat more of are at the bottom of the pyramid because that's the big part.
Yeah.
And as you go up the pyramid, foods are put in place because you should be consuming less of them. So at the bottom you find grains.
Yeah.
That's the first problem. So it taught people to make sure that the majority of their diet came from grains. Okay? And originally, that might not have been so detrimental. But now, what do most people consume as grains? Refined white flour, bread, sweets, cakes, pies, pastries, etc. Well, that's the biggest part of the food group. That must be good for me. And then as you climb up the food group, then you get to the vegetables and fruits. Yeah. I don't have a whole lot of problem with that, excepting excessive fruit contains way too much fructose. So you shouldn't be overdoing it. Moderation is the key in the first place. And the food pyramid smacks totally against the concept of moderation. Extreme here and nothing at the top. Now you get towards the top, then it's fats, oils, and so forth. Protein is just below fats. Protein is the most important food we consume, and yet it's almost all the way to the top of the pyramid. And the reason why this was done is because the food industry wanted to brainwash people and to promote the excess consumption of grains and refined flour because it's cheap.
Yeah.
And they can make high amounts of profit.
Then, yeah. Well, now too, but
now too, they can make high amounts of profit. And they also knew something that we all should know by now, is that these refined grains are highly addictive.
Yeah.
What a great marketing idea. We'll create something and we'll brainwash people to consume 60 to 70% of their diet from this crap. And then we'll make this crap addictive so that once we get them hooked, they can't stop.
Yeah.
What a beautiful idea.
So it doesn't even address nutrition at all then?
No. There's virtually nothing in the food pyramid that addresses nutrition because you have to go beyond that to talk about, okay, now we've got grains. Do they contain any nutrients? Well, we talked earlier about the soils being depleted, so they probably don't have the range of nutrients that they should have. We talk about fruits and vegetables. Guess where they're grown? On depleted soils. So do we have the nutrients that we used to have even in fruits and vegetables?
Not even
no. So it wasn't intended to address nutrients, fortunately, because they would have came up with an F+.
Yeah.
It was designed to brainwash people into consuming the majority of their diet from refined grains.
Yeah, so sad. And I'll just leave it on this note. The easiest way to overcome this crime against the American public as a whole is find out if you're carb intolerant or calorie sensitive, and then talk to somebody like Dr. Whiting who can tell you and give you a little guidance that you can go to your physician or your professional with and say, look, if I stick to this diet, I don't have to diet my whole life. I can maintain, and I'll get the nutrition that I need. I'll live a healthier life. I'll live longer, and I'll live a fuller life once you use the science that goes along with all of your research over 50 years.
That's right. We've helped thousands of people lose tens of thousands of pounds over the years and be able to keep it off. In fact, you're one of them.
Yep.
I don't know, how many years was that ago now? 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, you lost 50, 60 pounds.
60
You've
pounds.
never gained a pound back because you're doing it right.
Yep. Even through everything.
Endless dieting is not necessary. It's only if you have to endlessly diet, then you're doing it wrong.